Hello and welcome to our first tutorial video. I'm going to lead you through creating a basic labyrinth. So I've gone to the My Labyrinths tab, as you can see here, and on the right hand side, click Create Labyrinth and choose the Create Step-by-Step option. So start with a title, and then you're going to want to select Open Access, or you can click Private until you're ready to share. All of these options are editable later. So step 2. You'll want to start with an idea of how you want your case to go. I'll show you the linear design because it is the most simple. In this design, there's only one path that learners can follow. Once you get that down, I will show you in my next video how to create multiple options for learners to choose from within a single case. So on to step 3. This is where you decide roughly how long you want your case to be or how many nodes you'll need. A node, as you see here, is a single page within your case. Each node is a stop along the way and usually pertains to one topic or idea, kind of like a single slide in a PowerPoint presentation. This is why it's a good idea to have your case planned out so you know generally how many nodes you might need for the basic structure. However, you can add and delete nodes as you go along. Our best advice is to keep it simple at first and focus on what you want your learners to get from the case. You can always add detail and flair later. I will start with the minimum number of nodes, just to show you what this looks like. So notice how we still have an entry point with 6 nodes in the middle and our endpoint. Personally, I would use this view to jot down a couple notes in each box just to get the skeleton of the case started. So we're going to start begin case and any starting instructions. Now, the title of the next node, Node 1, will become the button to continue on from our previous node. So if we put patient history here, when we're on the start node, we will see a button at the very end that will come up saying patient history to click on, and it'll take us to the next node, and so on and so forth as we go through the case. I'm going to skip these nodes for now, but you can add anything that works for your case. Assessment findings, lab values, whatever works. So we'll get down to our second last node here, and we can put in diagnosis. Be sure not to put anything that you want your learners to think about independently as a title of the node, because it'll come up as a button in the previous node and give away your answer. So you'd want to put your diagnosis in the content section. Okay, so now we've reached our endpoint. We can put in. At this point, the learner will see no further buttons, and the case is complete, so they can close their window. Please don't feel that this is a format that's required of you. I'm trying to give you an example while still being somewhat vague so I don't limit your creativity. All right, step 4 brings you to the visual editor. Let me show you a few things. Click and drag the background to view your entire case. Start to finish, that's your pathway. In order to add a node from a pre-existing node, click this little plus sign in the bottom left-hand corner, and it brings up a new node. Use the sidebar to click and drag, but this will not affect the order in which the nodes will play. If I click on this node, it brings up the content that we had before. So say I wanted to add test results, and you can add content in here. Now I need to connect this node back to my pathway, because otherwise it'll just end here. That's what I use this top left-hand button for. Click it once, and you see this little target that comes up. Click and drag that to connect it to the node you want it to play next. So I want it to play this, come back to this one after. I have to delete this node, so I'll click on this little arrow to bring up the link manager, and I can click delete. Apply that. So now my pathway will play in this order, 1, 2, 3, and I can have this extra node in there that I didn't have before. On the left-hand side here is a toolbar. So we can use this to go into full screen, save our work, or add a node. Adding a node creates a new node that's not connected to the pathway, and so we would need to connect it using our link button here, or delete it. In order to delete it, click on the node and go to Actions, and you can select Delete Node. Delete. Once we are satisfied, you can proceed. So click Step 5. It won't let you continue without saving. So save. We're going to skip the next 2 steps for now. We'll go into more detail on those in a later video. Hit Save and Finish, and you've created a labyrinth. So now if you click the name of the case, it brings up all of your details. This is what I was talking about with editable later. Don't get too overwhelmed with all of the technical stuff. I just like to go down to Labyrinth Navigation and click Link Function Style and select Buttons, as I find that's easier to see. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Save Changes for this to come into effect. Once you've viewed your labyrinth and you can see that the basic structure of your case is connected the way you want, you can return to the visual editor here, or you can click the Nodes section and you can edit each node individually, add your content and detail to each one. You can view your labyrinth by pressing play, and I'll just click through this quickly to give you an idea of what this looks like. So this is what I'm saying with the buttons. They pop up as your new node. So just click through this, test results, you see the diagnosis, finish, and now there are no further buttons to click on. The labyrinth is complete. Thank you for watching this video. We welcome any feedback on whether you found it helpful or not, and any other topics you'd like us to cover. Bye for now.